Hello and welcome back to. I'm like, what the fuck? Hello and welcome back to the Coop'd Up podcast. It is your host, Josiah. How are you guys doing? I'm excited to be back in here in this chair talking to you guys. I've been doing this for a month now. This is insane behavior. Have, am, I'm like, I don't even know what to say. I am so happy that I'm trying to stay consistent with this. You know, when I first started the podcast, a lot of my friends asked me, they were like, how are you going to do this? And I was like, what do you mean? And they were like, are you going to do it like once a week? Are you going to post whenever? Are you going to do it like vlog style? And I was like, no, like, I'm doing a podcast. I'm going to sit down. I'm gonna blab, I'm gonna yap, and I'm just gonna talk every week and just put it out there into the universe. And so here we are, month number 2 of the Coop'd Up podcast. And I'm really trying to decide if I should be calling it the Coop'd Up podcast, if I should just be calling it Coop'd Up, and it is a podcast. I can't decide. I really am too indecisive. My mind keeps going back to saying the Coop'd Up podcast, especially when I refer to the podcast to anybody. I feel like it just rolls off the tongue better than just saying Coop'd Up. But I don't know. You guys decide, let me know, and we can figure out how to move forward from there. Because, like I've said in each episode so far, it is a learning curve, and we are all learning, and we are all trying to figure it out together. And you guys are along the journey with me as I figure out how I want to do this and how I want to get out this information and these fun stories to you guys. As for the first topic I wanted to talk to you guys about today was TikTok, okay? I think I've mentioned for the past 2 episodes now, I've been like, I'm trying to grow on TikTok. I'm trying to, get my followers up. And I realized that it makes sense why people revert to going on TikTok when trying to build a following, because it is the easiest way to do it. I think what Addison Rae said in one of her interviews about how she was posting on TikTok 10 to 15 videos a day. And granted, now she's trying to be Addison, the pop star, which go girl. But I don't know if I can be posting on TikTok 10 to 15 times a day. What I can do is post content and just pray to God and hope the content that I'm posting is sticking, which is what I am kind of learning as I'm going. And I've realized that you can have a niche when it comes to posting on these platforms. I think Instagram is a platform that is specifically dedicated to having a niche, where TikTok, you can kind of be more all over the place with it. It just helps to have a niche, but it's more so just posting consistently to push the algorithm. So as someone who is chronically online, I think that is something that, when I used to apply to like social media jobs, right? Like they look for that, someone who's chronically online, knows the social trends and all of that stuff. So as someone who's chronically online and knows a lot of the social media trends that are going on and which ones are popular and which sounds to use, I decided to do a trend on TikTok, okay? And it's a trend where you take a topic and then you say you're gonna rate the topic 1 through 10, because no one's gonna stop you, or you have free will, right? So the other day, I was in bed and I was hitting my wax pen before I was about to go to sleep. And then I was like, oh my God, it would be funny if I did one based off of all of the men that I've had situationships with throughout my years of dating, right? So I posted this TikTok of 4 different guys that I think they've been like, I guess, I would say they've played an important role on what I look for in a person when I'm dating, right? So I posted these four guys and I ranked them 1 through 10 each guy. And it was the year that I talked to them, and then I kind of put like details about the situationships. When I tell you that the internet was not happy with the guys that I posted. Okay, so I typically date white guys. Okay, I deleted my grinder for a reason. I used to be able to just pick out who I wanted on Grinder and just be like, this is the person that I am seeking. Okay, like everyone used to be like, how is everyone that you're talking to like 6 foot something? And I'm like, because babe, I have requirements. You gotta meet the requirements, the standards, and the standards are between 6'1" and 6'7", okay? So I posted pictures of four different guys, not trying to make it a thing about race or anything, okay? Just the guys themselves. When I tell you all of those comments are all race related, it's literally half of them are from either, it's funny because so one of the favorite comments, well, there's many of my favorite comments because one everyone's like, oh, first thing I did was run to the comment section, but a lot of people are sitting there and they're like, ugh, they're like, if it ain't snowing, he ain't going. Someone said, oh my god, I like to play in the snow, but this is a blizzard. And then one of my favorite comments was someone was like, oh, the fat black girls are going to be mad in the comment section. And they were. It was literally black girls, gay black guys that were just like literally ripping me to shreds. They were telling me that I don't love myself. A lot of them were referring to like racism, and they were telling me like one person was like, oh my god, like they're the slave owners grandchildren are having their way with you. Somebody else was like, oh my god, hopefully you get compensated. Another person was like Tamara Card Express, because I guess there's an interview with Tamara and Tia Mowry, and she's like in her interview, and Tamara's crying because she's like, they're calling me the white man's whore and like all of these other names. And I'm like, all of these people were just on my comment section just telling me how much I don't love myself, all because I was dating white people, and I was so fucking confused. And I posted a picture. The first thing I did, even in the slideshow, posted a picture of me by myself. And a lot of the people were like, "Oh, I could tell who you like just by looking at the first picture of you." And I think that first of all, a lot of the comments were fucked up. A lot of them were the same, but also at the same time, I kind of like it bothered me a little bit, but also to only just like a small extent, because at the same time, I was literally like, I don't know any of you people, and you people literally don't know me, which is so funny because Brooke Schofield was talking about how like her comment section is like her downfall because all she does is read all the comments about the people, all the comments that the people are making because she is trying to appease everybody. And I think that, you know, when I started reading them, I was like, oh my God. But yeah, it goes into the appeasing aspect of things, but we're not here to appease everyone based off of like what we like. And so that's what some of the people were even saying, right? They were like, how are you guys getting mad at him for what he likes? Like, he likes what he likes. And I was like, I agree. Like, I like what I like, but it's not necessarily my fault, right? Like, forget the whole grinder qualifications requirement aspect. I feel as though like I grew up in South Florida. Okay, I grew up in, you know, they're doing the trend on TikTok where they're like the SZA song where they're like the price of being black in suburbia or whatever. Like I grew up, all of my friends were white. Like a lot of the activities I did were surrounded by all of my friends being white. Like it's funny when I tell people that I used to go fishing or like I used to go mudding, or like I just growing up we would go and spend the time on people's boats, and you know those aren't necessarily activities that Black people tend to do. And it's not like I was surrounded by Black people. Like, I was just in the company of my friends and just doing those things. So it's like you become, I don't know, like, that's what I guess you become attracted to what you're surrounded with, which is why I kind of get, where Alabama Barker comes from when she talks about, the lifestyle. That's where she grew up around, but like, or not Alabama Barker. No. Bad Baby. I get when Bad Baby says it because, like she grew up in Florida. She grew up not too far from me. And the people that she was growing up with are the people who are like in my comment section telling me about how I don't like my own race, where I don't like Black people. But I'm like, you and I wouldn't even have the same commonalities and activities that we would like to do. Like, I would like to see you come to yoga with me. And I just feel like I gravitate towards people who have similar interests in the things that I do. And so if there were people of different races who were doing the things, and I'm not saying that they don't, but I'm just saying in the spaces that I am in, if there were others doing those same activities, I would not be opposed. So I just think that people, in the comment section, you can only take it for what it's worth because, like I said, people don't know you. I don't know them. And, like, people just like to troll at the end of the day. And that is what feeds, cancel culture. That's what feeds what people like, what they don't like, what's popular. And, who's going to be a very big product of cancel culture soon? Sydney Sweeney. Because that American Eagle ad where genes are passed down from parents, or genetics are passed down from parents to offspring. Like, oh my God. All I'm seeing everywhere is to talk about eugenics. People are talking about, how American Eagle is only promoting a certain standard of beauty now. And I would just like to say that Sydney Sweeney should have knew that was coming, especially with the past things that she has promoted. Not even forget the past things that she promoted, because she is anywhere and everywhere. If she can be in an ad, if she can be the face of a campaign, she will do it. But just in terms of like when she threw like the MAGA themed birthday party for her whatever relative that was in her family, and people were like killing her for that. And so she should have, her publicist, someone should have saw this coming and told her that this was not a good idea, but she did it anyway. And so she has great genes, and the memes are flowing. It's so funny because the first thing people are referring to is Euphoria. And I'm like, I wonder if she would get kicked off the Euphoria cast. Like, that would be very interesting to see. I don't know if it would actually happen because she does play a crucial role in the plot, but who knows? Cancel culture is a thing. And I would like to say good luck, Sydney. So, guys have answered my prayers, because some of you have gone to the Coop'd Up anonymous questions link on my Instagram, and I got a few questions, so we can go ahead and we can answer some of those today. So I have them pulled up. One of them is, someone said, I just wanted to say hi. And I'm like, that's not a question. And I feel like I can say hi back, so hello. But I feel like maybe I know who this is. because when I said, like, 2 episodes ago, I was like, if you feel uncomfortable, like, send me a message. I was like, if you feel uncomfortable, send me a message to the Coop'd Up podcast Instagram, and I can address it there. And lo and behold, I got a message from someone who I was honestly expecting a message from, and I didn't open it because I feel as though that, and if it's the same person who is saying hi now, I feel as though that, sometimes when chapters close, like, they have to stay closed. And I feel as though that I'm one of those people who, like, I will stick it through the hardest times with people. And I feel as though that the moment that I am not like a happy go lucky person, or like I start going through something rough, then they're literally like, oh my God, like, what is going on? Like, this is not Josiah. Like, this person has problems. Like, and I'm just like, what do you mean? Like, I feel as though that I'm one of those people who are very good at handling my own issues. I handle my own problems. I try not to make it a big deal, even though I'm running to the internet to talk about things. But in retrospect, like, in reality, I guess I would say that when it comes to issues that I'm having, not a lot of people know what's going on or if I'm having problems, because I'm very good at just dealing with it on my own and diverting the attention to elsewhere or to other things, or just redirecting. And so I feel as though that if people can't handle me for when I'm having a bad day, then, like, there's no reason for me to try and go back to trying to rebuild a relationship, whether or not it's platonic, romantic, what have you. So, whoever this is, if I think it's the person who I think it is, hello. And if it's not, can the person who did say hello send me something else that's not a hello? Just send me a question. Someone else said, I won't date you until I see how you act when you're losing an argument. Oh. What? I won't date you until I see how you act when you're losing an argument. Well, there is nobody that I'm currently talking to, so I don't know if this person is trying to pursue me in the future. But I guess when it comes to me being in an argument, I come with the facts, the receipts, the proof, the timesheets, all of it. Like, I really don't like to argue with people because I am not coming to argue. Like, I'm coming to prove a point, and I have all of the facts needed. Like, I remember, oh my God, I got into a fight with my last roommate, right? Was. I was hooking up with this guy, and my roommate ended up hooking up with him as well, and it pissed me off because I'm like, I don't understand why people just cannot not hook up with every single person in the world. But that's besides the point. And I remember that I just told him, I was just like, well, like, you hooked up with this guy, so, like, I'm just, like, not really trying to have a conversation with you. And he's like, well, you should just, like, let me explain myself. And I was like, I don't understand why I need to have you explain to me why you did what you did. Like, the guy already told me, he apologized to me. Like, you weren't going to tell me. The only reason why you're saying this is because I brought it up. And I brought it up because I already had all of the things that I needed to say about the situation. So just, like, don't, like, I don't need an explanation. So I feel like, I don't know. When I come to arguments, I come to arguments with all of my ducks in a row, and I just try not to argue if there's no need. So, and if you're dating me, you don't want to argue with me, sweetie. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not, I shouldn't say that. I'm like, I'm trying to turn a new leaf. I'm trying to be a good person, a good partner. So maybe we can start an argument and we can just see how it goes because, I have been working on myself living in California. Okay. Like being here, being out in nature, just a wellness lifestyle, clearing my mind, body, soul. So maybe I'm due for another argument. But nonetheless, I need you guys to send me more questions, ask me more things, tell me some things if you want me to spill the beans on things. I feel as though that, like I said last episode, I want to come to you guys with my persona, my personality. And I think today we're just giving plain old Josiah. I'm just hanging out, talking to you guys, just having a kiki. And I also think that I need a sponsor for the podcast at some point. And I'm wearing a full Skims sweatsuit. This is typically what I wear when I'm going to the airport because I love to travel in sweats. So Skims, Miss Kim K, if you ever want to sponsor the Coop'd Up podcast at any point, we give it like 2 months. I'll have my people contact your people. We can work something out. But yeah, I love and appreciate everybody for coming to today's podcast. Let's remember to be a little bit nicer to people on the internet, even though we may think it's a joke. It isn't sometimes to some people. And, not everybody can handle the critiques, the comments, but the people, I would like to say though, that people who are putting things out on the internet should be prepared for that kind of stuff if they're trying to live that lifestyle, because that's unfortunately what comes with it. So, like I said, thank you guys for coming. Like, subscribe, comment, and I will talk to you guys next week. Bye. Love you. Mwah. Besos.